I'm saying, like, you don't hear Chuck Berry making songs about his guitar. You feel me? Like, you don't hear, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Jimmy wasn't talking about, like, I'm a singer and I play the guitar. You feel me? Like, no, that's just whack. You like, what do you have to say?
Woo!
Like, what's your voice? Like, what validates you? What makes your experience unique? And I think I bring it back to like my whole style of my music, the LA noir audio cinema, is a result of my upbringing in film because I equate music to films. You know what I mean? So it's like, what if this album was a movie, what would it look like? What would the aesthetic be like? Who are the characters, and why would I want to watch it? Do you really want to see a movie about me making the album, or do you want to see what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like what went on? Like, oh shit, this fool's overdosing. This fool's fucking fucked over the plug and is hiding out in a motel room right now. Like that to me, like shit. I'd rather watch that. I'd rather watch fucking Goodfellas than behind the making of this fucking Adam Levine album. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I hear you. I know there is an audience for the behind the scenes things, but I'm with you actually. But really, like, I don't know what to expect half the time when like you go and listen to somebody's album for the first time, and I figured it was new, it deserved to get listened to. I checked your couple of music videos too because it popped up. They recommended me you at this point. It's like, okay, let's feed him battle rapper music. I'm like, okay, YouTube, give it to me, and so I clicked it and I'm like, holy shit. Like it wasn't like it was like wow. It was like you could hear like a level of perfection in what you're creating that like really honestly is better than a lot of shit I hear in the underground. I'm talking at all levels
thank
of
you.
labels and shit. I'm like, holy fuck, like I could find people to listen to this and they would be undeniable across the spectrum. I was like,
Hell yeah.
it was like, but you got all sorts of styles, whatever, whatever. Your music's good. That's really
No, I
my takeaway.
appreciate you.
Like
This is my
it's
favorite
huge
shit
for
to
me.
hear.
Like, and I just say that it caught me off guard about how good. Like you expect good. You don't expect like replayable movie good. Like it was insane. I've listened to it twice today alone. Your
Oh man,
album
I'm
on mic.
humbled. Thank you so much. Shouts to you know what I'm saying, MTL all day, you feel me? I still got my Delino to Shields throwback, you feel me? Expos, baby. Patrick Waugh broke my heart, you feel me? Beat the motherfucking LA Kings in the Stanley Cup. Still got love for him though. Look, I'm gonna tell you like this. That means a lot to me. I truly appreciate your words. Music transcends geographic, socioeconomic, and every other boundary. So to make that connection, that's what I strive for. And I lived a lot of life, and I felt a lot of pain, and I lost a lot, and life done brought me to my knees a lot. I feel like that my voice. You could just hear that, and I feel like that's why, if anything, people can resonate with it. Because I went through, not to say that like my music's all depressing and all that shit, because it's not. Like, but it's like what I went through a lot of life, and I guess I happen to put words together in the way where it like makes sense to people, but that didn't happen overnight, bro. It didn't, and it's by the grace of God, 100%.
All I know is just to give you some more credit in terms of how interesting you are as a person is I don't know if you remember who Let Me Know is.
It's
Um,
my dog, bro.
I figured,
I was
but
gonna say shouts to Lemmy. That's my mantra. That's my folks right there.
so he sent me this day in the life video he shot with you because he was like, you best watch this
Oh,
shit,
word.
and so I watched this shit and I'm like, yo, that is a busy day. And you're like, you guys don't even get it. This is like 1/10 of whatever, whatever. And I'm like, I think I kind of have a teensy idea what he's talking about. Life can be mad complicated when you're the guy that's solving problems all day. And I'm like, so on top of everything else, with everything else you're doing in your world, you're a problem solver and you make things happen. And I mean, to me, when I hear the battle rap part, I think that's why everybody's calling you a legend because you are the problem solver that got like everything dealt with. And I thought that was because it was like he's filming you fucking solve problems in real time. Like, oh, the fucking hotel, this guy, and that shit. And you're like, just dealing with it. Like,
I'm on hella drugs too. I'm smacked that whole video. That's the crazy thing. Like
it's like,
we're
it's,
partying. There's hella bitch. Like that shit was a wild day. Like, but it was like, hey, that's what it was like, dude. And solving problem, like you know, again, I'll equate that. I think so much of things go back to my upbringing and just like at a certain point, like when you've already dealt, when I've already dealt with being homeless, I've already dealt with the police and all. So it's not a big deal for me to fucking find a hotel room because John the Don missed his flight. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
things like that are
Mm-hmm.
super insignificant at a certain point because I really went through real life. I cheated death. You feel me? Like I'm five cats because I fucking have 45 lives. Fuck
Mm.
nine. You feel me? So it really wasn't so like doing things like that. And also at the time, I never want to be an advocate for drug use because I'm not, and I'm 13 months clean and sober from all mind altering substances. But at the time, like my arrogance, my character defects, my habitual dishonesty, and my drug use, I feel like was like a cushion for me to do even better at that kind of stuff because I was ambitious to a point of negligence and disregard for my own personal health, safety, and the ramifications for those around me. I didn't care. I was finna do it. I was balls to the wall, finna spend my and your last dollar making this shit happen because I thought something was cool.
Mm. At a
That's
seriously
lit though.
level.
Thank you.
No, but like you have to
I
like
see.
think about it. The whole world requires people like that. Like it requires it.
Yeah,
Like I
yeah.
mean, everything you did. I mean, it came up while Durek was talking. He couldn't get through his story without Lush One coming up, and I was like, oh
That's my
shit,
dog.
this shit just kind of really does flow into it because Flaco's got this whole like story thing planned out that happened by accident, like he was saying, where it just feels like every interview has lined up in a way where the stories connect.